up and landing 13 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31, you're requesting straight in for 13.
If that's available, yes, please.
Remember, correction of Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, make straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance, Pilots 4658 is type PC12 slam call, request clearance to Vegas S filed.
Pilots 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon, unable to give you S file and I'll be full route standby. Pilots 4658 is cleared to the Las Vegas airport via Flight Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs, Victor 370 to 29 Palms, Victor 538, Cresso, join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7,000, expect flight level 2405 minutes after departure, departure frequency 126.7, squawk 6316.
4658 is cleared to Vegas via Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Cresso 3, initially climb 7,000, expected for 0F25, departure 1267, squawk 6316, plus 465.
Pause 4658, reback is correct. Tango India Mike, taxi to the ground via Echo and this frequency.
Taxiing to the ramp via Echo, remaining on this frequency, Papa Hotel Tango India Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left, traffic, left downwind runway 26 left, report base.
Enter left downwind for 26 left and record your base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning you for a right base shortly.
United 242 John Wayne Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land, wind 170.3.
Clear to land, 20 right, United 242.
Panama Tower, King at 208 Kilo, ILS 4.
Near 520 Yankee Kilo, Palomar Tower, runway 24, clear to land, wind 210 at 1.
Clear to land,
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 7 Charlie Alpha, thank you.
Palm Springs ramp, Pilots 4658 east ramp, with weather going for taxi.
Pilots 4658, Palm Springs ground, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Trail right via Echo Bravo 465.
Riverside Tower, good morning, November 2903 Alpha with you on the ILS.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, good afternoon. Runway 900 clear low approach, report miss.
November 2903 Alpha, clear low approach, runway 9, next report is with
Palm Springs Tower, Pilots 4658 ready to go to trail right at Bravo.
Pause 4658, Palm Springs Tower, runway 31 right, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, trail right, Pilots 465.
Panama Tower, King at 528 Kilo, located at 4.
Here's our Yankee Kilo, roger, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Via Alpha,
Pilots 4658, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure 465.
Cessna 7 Charlie Alpha is clearly active, taxi to the GA parking base.
We're 7 Charlie Alpha, remain on this frequency, taxi into the south ramp via Sierra.
South ramp via Sierra with you, 7 Charlie Alpha, thanks.
November 2903 Alpha going around.
Number 03 Alpha, confirm going around or going missed?
November 2903 Alpha going missed.
Number 03 Alpha, roger, execute the published missed approach procedure.
Flying the published mid-approach procedure, November 2903.
Piper 2903 Alpha, contact SoCal departure.
Contact departure, 03 Alpha.
Number 03 Alpha, departure frequency will be 135.4.
135.4 for departure, November 2903 Alpha.
Ontario Tower, November 516 Delta Mike, inbound ILS 26 left.
Number 516 Delta Mike, Ontario Tower. Good afternoon, Ontario. Wind is calm. Runway 26 left, clear to land.
26 left, clear to land, 6 Delta Mike. Ontario Tower, November 36. Correction, 516 Delta Mike, clear of the active at uniform, taxiing to the south apron.
Number 6 Delta Mike, roger, taxi on the south ramp via Sierra. Remain on this frequency.
This year on this frequency 6 Delta.
Riverside Tower, we're going to expect.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside Tower, runway 27, clear to land.
Clear to land on runway 2703 Alpha. Riverside route, November 2903 Alpha, in Alpha request taxi to the transient parking.
Number 2903 Alpha, Riverside ground. In the future, don't switch to the ground frequency unless you're told to do so. Should stay with tower, exiting the runway all the way to the hold short point. Stay on this frequency for now, taxi into the ramp via Alpha.
Taxi to ramp via Alpha. Roger. Number 2903 Alpha.
Runway clear. Runway clearance. November 6th. Charlie Mike Cherokee. I would like to attempt the I-4 rating today.
Cherokee 76 Charlie Mike, jawline clearance. Good evening. Good luck on the I-4 destination. Will be, let's go, Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo.
That's Kilo Oscar X-ray Romeo. 620 Mike.
Yes, sir. Good luck.
I'm going to sign off and collect some information for this destination. I'll sign back in. Is that okay?
Absolutely. Just report when you're back with the I-4. And how long do you think it'll be? It's not going to be more than an hour, is it?
No. I have to file and get some charts and plates.
Wonderful. Yeah, I'll still be here, so it shouldn't be a problem. And we'll look for your flight plan to come through. And we should plan stuff.
Las Vegas Tower, Pilatus 4658 is unusual, 1 on the right, 4500.
Plus 4658, Las Vegas Tower, runway 19 right, clear to land, wind 1807.
Clear to land, 1 on the right, 4658.
Plus 658, exit right, taxi into the ramp via hotel, remain on this frequency today.
Exit right, ramp via hotel, ramp frequency, update 465.
Beach ground, number 953 Whiskey Alpha's Hyper Comanche PA24/Alpha. Like taxi the active VFR east departure with the weather.
Calling Long Beach ground, need you to just verify your call sign, please.
Sorry about that. 916 Whiskey Alpha, November 916 Whiskey Alpha.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach ground, roger. And just confirm VFR eastbound.
Eastbound and the east ramp just south of runway 25.
Comanche 9016 Whiskey Alpha, roger. Runway 26 right, taxi via Kilo.
Okay, 25 right via Kilo, 916 Whiskey Alpha. Long Beach Tower, November 916 Whiskey Alpha, holding short of 25 right Kilo, ready for departure via parking east.
Number 916 Whiskey Alpha, Long Beach Tower, runway 25 right, clear for takeoff, right downwind departure approved.
Clear for takeoff 25 right downwind departure 6 Whiskey Alpha.
Good day, Palm Springs, ground scanning Hotel Tango, East Ramp, India, close traffic, runway 31 right.
Papa Hotel Tango, do you mind? Palm Springs ground, say again, aircraft type.
Ray Cessna scan.
Skyline Tango, do you mind? Thank you, runway 31 right, taxi via Echo and Bravo.
Echo and Bravo, 31 right, Papa Hotel Tango.
We're center 791 Juliet, towards ground left, clear.
Okay, Skype 791 Juliet, we see there's no clearance delivery with this field, so would we get our departure instructions with tower or with ground?
Always go with the lowest, so we'll start with ground, just say your intentions.
Okay, Skype 791 Juliet, type Cessna 172 on the south hangers with the numbers requesting VFR advisories to John.
Number 791 Juliet, roger, departure frequency 134.9er, squawk 2061.
1249, that's 2061, squawk 791 Juliet.
Got 901 Juliet, read back is correct, are you ready to taxi now?
In a couple of minutes, just go direct inside. It's Skype 791 Juliet, south hangers now 15.
Sky 791 Juliet, roger. Runway 29 right. Taxi via Hotel. Correction, taxi via Alpha in Juliet.
29 right, taxi via Alpha and Juliet, Sky 791 Juliet.
Palm Springs Tower, scanning Papa Hotel Tango, Mike is holding short runway 31 right, Bravo, and ready for departure, close traffic. Hello, 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 hello. It seems that it's working right now. I've been tinkering with my OBS to do the recording for SimCoders a couple of weeks ago, so that's why my settings are not up to date. Are you guys hearing me or not? Good. Thank you, Marcus. Well, again, guys, I started with just saying that I missed you all. It's been such a long time since I have been streaming here, so and that's because of work. I'm in my last year of my PhD research, so that's the year where I need to write up all the stuff that I've learned, and it's getting more busy with each week. So yeah, at the same time though, I have been working on some incredible, exciting flight simulator related projects. So paradoxically, although I haven't had time to stream, I have actually spent more hours on flight sim than I've ever spent on before. So that's quite exciting. And one of the things, I've got a few projects going on specifically related to the uncertified pilot, of which one project I will announce today, which I'm really, really excited about. I cannot wait to start. I've got another announcement, a collaboration that I did with Avanek, with the Digital Aviator, that I'm going to announce probably around New Year's. Also really, really cool. But also, since I did that lecture on FS Weekend, as you might have known, I did a talk about the educational value of flight simulation, at least from my perspective, and how flight sim is not just about just flying an airplane, but it is a potential learning environment where we can engage children, but also adults, I guess, in the world of science and technology and maths and, well, you name it, right? It's a really complex, interdisciplinary practice, I think. At least to me, that's also what I like to emanate through my Uncertified Pilot brand, is the fun of learning how to fly and, well, and studying aviation. And so I did that lecture at FS Weekend. I've recorded that also on YouTube if you are unaware of that talk. So it's posted there as well. And I've received some incredible reactions by so many people, sim pilots, but also from entrepreneurs and other people that have been seeing that video, but also through the lecture there at FS Weekend. And so there might be some opportunities for me to actually use, thank you guys, subscriptions by Snipe. Kima, also thank you for your subscription. Merry Christmas to you as well. Thank you guys, your support means really, really a lot, as you know. Thank you. Good to see you all here. I've really missed you guys. My gosh. I'll Snipe, doesn't matter. Hope to see you very, very soon on the streams. There will be plenty of those. Hoping you're doing great. Wishing you a happy and peaceful Christmas as well, buddy. Anyways, some incredible opportunities to actually help other organizations and schools and stuff to implement flight simulation, flight simulator, X-Plane, or whatever I'm going to use to stimulate and engage children, students, especially into science education domains, and that's really, really incredible. And actually, my PhD research is also about science education and science communication, how important that actually is, and how we like to stimulate our children in school to be much better problem solvers and curious thinkers, other than just having a lot of knowledge and drill and practicing stuff that they will very likely will not be able to use, need to use 10 years ahead or so. And so there's a lot of research going on, a lot of education policy going on that is specifically focused on how we actually need to stimulate all our students to become, in addition to having obviously some basic knowledge and understanding, knowing how to do maths and how to write stuff and read stuff, obviously that's very, very important. But in addition to that, also be curious and creative. And I think flight simulation can be used to also develop those brain muscles. And that was also the topic of my presentation at FS Weekend. But it seems to really resonate with a lot of people. So that's really, really exciting. So perhaps there might be some developments going on that I can use or work on, build upon, to actually earn a decent living from implementing flight simulation in public education. That's going to be so exciting. Again, these are just early stages. I'm just excited and just like to share with you what's going on, and that really demands a lot of attention, as you can imagine, to really develop that concept and to see whether it's actually something that is fruitful, that can actually lead somewhere, right? So that's something that I'm really busy with. Really cool. But one big announcement here. Hey, Scotty, good to see you as well. And Finish, yeah, guys, I've seen all your chats already. So good to see you all here. Dad, good to see you as well. Steve, Viewers, Voju, very many mini-webs, obviously, many familiar names. Good to see you all, guys. All right, so the announcement. And I've got several. So first one is that I'm gonna address today is that I'm gonna start a new series parallel to my IFR usual flight training series. So as you know, we're now in season 2, right? I'm busy, should be busy, learning how to become an IFR pilot here, here on PilotEdge and in X-Plane. So I will still continue doing that flight training, but in parallel. In addition to that, I'm going to start an entire new series with also seasons. So season 1, episode 1. I cannot wait to build my very own Skyhawk in X-Plane. I'd like to study the airplane itself. I like to use PlaneMaker and the Airfoil Maker and Blender, all kinds of 3D modeling software to build my very own Skyhawk with you. So I'm going to start an entire new series where I'm going to study the physics and also all kinds of programming stuff and Photoshop to build my own Skyhawk. I'm not going to know, well, what version or what kind of type. I guess just the SP version. I need to think about that quite carefully. I'm going to build that from scratch. I'm a complete noob on that front. I do have some, I'm a bit familiar with Photoshop, so I have some prior knowledge, but still. I will start from scratch and share all of that development with you. Now, that Skyhawk is not just going to be a regular Skyhawk. My aim is, and I don't know whether it is too big of a deal, I don't know, but I want to make a study level Skyhawk. I want to build the kind of Skyhawk that I would like to fly in X-Plane, that somehow Airfoil Labs is trying to make and SimCoders is trying to enrich by the Reality Extension Pack. I would like a fully interactive slant alpha Skyhawk, but also, I guess, in some way modular, so we can also change up all of this stuff and do the 750. And Glenn, thank you for the follow. Whatever we like, but I'd like to have so many more interactions points, not only here in the cockpit, but also externally in the aircraft, aside from just learning about the physics of an aircraft and how to do test flights and also how to model all of these things. So it's going to be an incredible project, a project that will take, well, I guess a year or so, because I also need to learn how to do that stuff. So it's going to be a study level Skyhawk, and obviously I'm going to collaborate with SimCoders to connect it to the rep, obviously, to get that full realism going. But I've got plenty of other features and ideas that I would like to see in my Skyhawk. I think you do too. So that's first, study level. Second, it's going to be available for you guys as well. It's going to be freeware. I'm not here to do any commercial stuff here with this aircraft. I'm just going to show you how fun it is to just build your own aircraft. You can do that as well. PlaneMaker is an app that's already included with buying X-Plane. Blender is a 3D modeling software. Is also freeware. Is available. There's so much stuff. There are also entire forums, as you probably already know, of people that are already building their own airplanes, funny airplanes, strange airplanes, or just realistic airplanes. So there's a lot of stuff out there. Also on YouTube, some interesting stuff. It's going to be freeware. So that's very, very important. So this is going to be available for you guys as well. And what I'd really like to do is also invite you guys to think with me. What would your favorite ultimate Cessna Skyhawk look like? What are the features that you like to see? We can make that. It will take time, but we can make it. We can develop it and at the same time inspire others to do the same, I guess. For example, circuit breakers and all that stuff, interactive, the cabin heat, a lot of stuff that's already there. So I'm not trying to build a Skyhawk because I think there's a particular niche or something like that. Primarily, I just like to learn how to build my own Skyhawk, aside from just learning how to fly. But also, obviously, while we're going to build that thing, I'd like to make it as good as it can be and to really fit my needs and your needs as well. So I'm going to start an entire new series, building my own Skyhawk. I'm actually going to stream that from my iMac, so not on my flight simulator computer right here. I've got all the software already installed. I'm prepping OBS and all of this stuff and a good microphone and a real dedicated series on how to develop an aircraft. And we're gonna have a lot of fun. Severe, thank you for the subscription. Thank you. So that's it. That's the first announcement. I think it's going to be really, really exciting. Also means that I'm going to stream a lot more often. So aside, next to my just regular flight training streams, I'm also going to do that development work. Obviously, I'm also going to invite others, hopefully, if they like to, on the stream to teach me how to do that. I know that Rush, it was actually kind of inspired by Rush, by the way. Rush is building a real world airplane. And in context of my own lecture about how we can use flight simulation in schools to teach children about, well, aviation, I also thought about, well, wouldn't it be cool if we can also teach children how to build their own airplane? Because there's a lot of stuff that you can learn about physics and math as well. And then I thought, hey, I'd like to do that as well. So it was kind of like a organic kind of way in which this new series came to mind. So that's it. I think that's going to be really, really exciting. I hope you are as excited about this new series as well. I'm going to start this after Christmas. We're going to have a lot of time. Let me see, guys. Chemo, it's going to be a struggle to learn all of that, I think. Yep, I think so as well. But yeah, it's all about the growth mindset, Chemo, and I think I can learn it. It will take some time, but it's going to be really, really exciting. And I guess also perhaps that first, you've got the learning curve, obviously, to learn how to work with all those programs. But I think the most tedious thing of it all is just the hours and hours and hours of just perfecting a particular instrument, that it looks right. In Photoshop, that it looks right. And so it's not going to be necessarily, I think, that intellectually complex or that difficult, but it's just going to take a lot of time. But I think that's fun. So I'm picturing myself in a virtual hangar almost, where I'm just going to start from scratch, like Rush is doing with his real-world airplane, and we're just going to build parts. We're gonna make the airframe. We're gonna test the airframe in X-Plane. How do we need to? I have no idea how we need to test that. We need to get the real specs of the Skyhawk and see if my model corresponds with the real performance tables. It's going to be a big challenge, but also it's going to be so educational, I think, and it's going to be also new, different from my usual flight training. And again, more streams, more fun. So that's about it. Captain John, what's the new series? Gonna build my own Skyhawk and explain. Sphero, sounds great. Maybe I learn how to make my own player too. Exactly. I miss some GA planes like the Zlin blah blah from Oh, all right. Well, again, you've got Playmaker and some knowledge on how to do this, and you can build your own airplanes as well. There's also, I guess, a byproduct of that new series is that I might inspire you guys and show you guys the things that you need to know to build your own aircraft. I mean, that's why Playmaker is there, so we can just have fun. And I've already been looking at some videos, and it's not that difficult. I mean, it's not. I don't think that the software is self-explanatory in that there are a lot of new interfaces and stuff that do need some time, at least for me, just to get familiar with. But in the end, though, it's not that difficult. But it's going to take some time. So after Christmas, I'm going to start in parallel to my flight training series, building my own Skyhawk here in X-Plane. Entire new theme setup, also using my iMac here. So I'm hoping that you will be there to support me and cheer me on, but also to give me input on how to make the plane and use with all of those different programs, but also feature requests. What would that ultimate Skyhawk look like? I've got some ideas, but you might have some as well. And we can build something that is truly incredible, I think, over time at least. And well, it's going to be freeware, it's going to be available for everyone, so that full realism is available for anyone who is curious about serious flight simming. Dad, so next Uncertified Pilot, Uncertified Labs, yeah, or Uncertified Engineer or something like that. Yeah, exactly. Finish. I hope the instrument rating series will still continue. Absolutely, it will. It definitely will. So I'm still busy trying to come as close to an instrument rating and flight simulator as I possibly can. So that will obviously still continue. Already making some progress there, and on the break of doing my first ATC stuff in IFR flights, doing my first approaches. So I've also been studying IFR in the past month or so. So that's still continuing. So that new series is just an addition to. It's going to be a parallel series. That's the idea. Peter, I'm loving the SimCoders rep for the 172. Good for you. Yeah, now with version 3.2 we got some new features that I've already shown you guys, I think. Also did a featured video demonstration for SimCoders on YouTube. So that's going to be exciting. B2, oh, it wasn't even wrong. Awesome concept, always curious about Playmaker stuff. Awesome. Well, good to see, guys, that you are as excited as I am. Awesome. Okay, so for today, what we're going to do is just some casual flying, because I haven't been flying for several weeks right now. So even though I'm still going to continue with my IFR training, what we're going to do today is just get familiar with the Skyhawk again. We're currently at Oceano, wonderful Oceano here, and we're already also in version 11.11, so the newest version of X-Plane. I've heard that it should actually give us a lot more frames per second, which is great and a little bit paradoxical, at least in my mind, because usually when we upgrade to newer versions, things get more fancy, get more sophisticated, and yeah, at the cost of FPS. But now that X-Plane, the developers, Laminar, is actually also rewriting their architecture, software architecture, to make better use of the graphics card, we actually gain FPS while gaining new fancy stuff. So yeah, good times, I would say. Miniwebs, maybe a tail dragger. Well, we can. Look really, really cool, yeah. I also like to have passengers on board, like Airfoil Labs is doing. And all kinds of other stuff that I think will be, and not only fancy gimmicks, but things that will actually be interesting. And educational, have an educational value. So keep those ideas coming in, and as soon as we're going to start that first hangar talk, hangar stream, building my own Skyhawk series, we're going to collect all of those ideas as well, and we're going to build it. All right, so here we are. As you can see, tie downs and stuff. Oceano, we're just going to do a regular traffic pattern, and from that we can leave Oceano and just explore, perhaps do some maneuvers. In the air. Perhaps it's also good to do some instrument flying as well, so we can set the weather, or we can do some unusual attitudes just to get back into shape again and get flying. Holiday time here, so I've got a lot of time ahead of me just to fly and pick up the pace with my instrument rating training. So let's get going right away. Cold and dark check. So parking brakes are set, live vest and a fire extinguisher. Again, live vest and fire extinguisher. I'm always doing that as part of my streams. Paulo, thank you for the follow. Welcome on board. Usually as part of my checks, I'm referring to my live vests that I should carry with me. I guess only when you're going to fly over the waters, but I usually always mention it as part of my stream, or the fire extinguisher. Wouldn't it be cool if we actually 3D model that in the cockpit? Or even better, that before we step into the Skyhawk, we need to consider what kind of equipment, survival equipment, or things that we need to bring with us in the Skyhawk. We can build that, and it will add to the payload. And I mean, it's not rocket science. We just need to build it, and it will take some time, but we can. Well, that kind of stuff, I think, would really excite me if that would be available as well. So we're going to build a Skyhawk, a study level Skyhawk, that also expands on what it means to be a student pilot, I think. Also thinking about creating some kind of a virtual hangar or so, that where you can also, as a student pilot, as a sim pilot, tinker with, also be kind of like an engineer, but perhaps that's a lot more difficult than I currently think. But again, that kind of thinking really excites me. Anyway, so a live vest, we can actually model that and take it with us in the cockpit. We need to store it somewhere. Fire extinguisher as well. Doors closed. ELT is also not interactive. We can make that interactive with our own Skyhawk. Cabin air, flap lever is up, and it is up. My SciTech panel is working. Trim is working as well. Fuel tanks at both. Cutoff is in. Alternate is in. Circuit breakers are nicely tucked in. My switch panel is working too. Switches and avionics are off. Wonderful. Let's also remove the pitot tube cover because we're gonna check our pitot heat soon. And it's not good if the pitot tube cover is still on. Walk around. Post flight. Remove the pitot tube cover. Okay, it's fine for now. Skyhawk with a sunroof. Well, we're not gonna make it too crazy though, but any feature that is relevant to a student pilot for getting to know the Skyhawk and getting to become a better pilot, that's stuff that really inspires me and excites me to work on in the Skyhawk. And it's going to be an incredible, a big project, but exciting. Alrighty, batteries on. Well, enough fuel to do some traffic patterns, so that's okay. Let's first do our lights tests and our pitot heats. Let's have a look. Temperature is already rising here, so that's good. The pitot tube heat is actually working. Lights check. Beacon position light is working. Strobe lights on this side as well. Taxi light, landing lights. Perfectos. Okay, so pitot heat off, all the lights off except for the beacon. And we move on. Avionics on, mode C, displays seem to be working, great. Flaps down, they go down, and they go down in sync. VFR sets that set, we're going to set that soon. At least just the CTAP is going to be basic flight. Yep, seems to be all okay. We are not in sync. Oh, other one. Yeah. Oh, it's much quicker. Perhaps that part of the update of X-Plane. It's moving a lot quicker than before. 190, 200, a little bit less than 200. Okay, runway. What kind of runway do we have here on Oceano? I don't know by heart. SN, good to see you. Come on board. Hope you are all doing well, guys. Christmas times. I'm gonna build my own Skyhawk. I cannot wait. Ah, interesting. Oceano 1 to 2.7 is the CTAF. And what runways do we have? We have runway 29 and 11, obviously. And usually we are taking off of runway 29. And I just saw a Skyhawk also take off of 29, so that's good. 29. Yes, that's 29. Everything is set here, 7 degrees outside. It's okay, we don't have any real clear visible moisture. Sees a cloud puff over there, but that's about it. Good weather here at Oceano today. Okay. And we are draining the battery, obviously. Okay, good. So avionics off and batteries off. Let's do our external walk around. Pre-flights. A clock that automatically starts when the wheel's up. Yeah, that could also be, well, again, if we're going to make it ourselves, we can do whatever we like. Yeah, we already did all of these checks. Baggage door. Well, I'd like to have an interactive baggage door. Elevators work as well. Antennas seem to be okay. Good. Tie down bits. CLT. Pretend that it's secure. Flap as a wiggle. Ailerons work too. Tie down removed. Looks good. Wheels look good as well. Again, like to also be able to open this one just so we can check whether the wheels are actually fine and okay. Oil quantity is still okay. The color is worsening though. Let's change it up. Never did that before with the sim coders. Let me see. Clean. Oil filler is clean. Refill. Minimum of 5, maximum 8. Yeah, so I cannot really see how much quarts of oil are currently in the engine. And I already talked with sim coders whether they can just provide a scale here. Let's just refill. I thought that the color was a little bit more light when it was refilled, but clearly it is not. Anyways, refilled. Prop, no dents, no bird's nests, everything is secure and looks good. Looks good. Cover is removed, lights. Looks good as well. Tires. Perfect. That's about it. That's the external walk around. So we know that our systems are working both internally and externally. That's wonderful. Okay. So that means that we've got a tie down. That would be quite interesting when we went taxiing. Post flights. Remove. Again, looking around, always good to check whether your tie downs have actually been removed. And with the till, I know for sure. Okay, and also no chocks. Yeah, so that's good. So we can start this baby up. Seatbelts secured. Let's close the door. Great. Yeah, batteries are on. Parking brakes are set. Fuel tank set to both. Roger. A little bit of a throttle in. And yeah, prime the engine. Fuel pump on. 1, 2, 3. Saw some fuel flow there. Fuel pump off. Again, we're ready to go. Clear prop. Mixture full in. Magnetos back to both. 1200. Oil pressure is well in the green. Barely in the green. Watch that needle there. Okay, alternator on, rise on the M meter. Let's lean for max RPM. There it was. Good. Reset to 1000. And flaps up. Avionics on. Mode C, VFR is correct. We don't need navs, but we do need comms. 1 to 2.7. Yes, come on. 1 to 2.7. Switch. Okay. We could also listen to the ATIS of San Luis Airport, which is just north of here. 120.6. And let's have a listen.
San Luis CORGNL information mic. 1500 Zulu weather. Wind calm. Visibility
Good.
more than 10.
Good.
Sky clear. Temperature 7. Dew point 3. Altimeter 3017. Arriving runway 29. Departing runway 29.
017.
Initial contact you have
0. Should be 14. Well, that's good enough for me. Okay. Wonderful. Set. Again, no uninitiated messages. Still in sync. EGT is really low. It's not good. A bit more of an RPM. Why is that EGT so low? Usually it's quite high up when I lean, because that's the whole deal, right? More? I guess it's usually, I think, when I did this scheme of looking for my max RPM when I'm leaning my mixture, usually the EGT was at the top, which would make sense, I guess. But now, with the newest version, I haven't flown with the 0.11 yet, it seems that they have been changing the EGT behavior, and it might be that those two are not necessarily in sync. So max RPM with my mixture doesn't really automatically cause max EGT readings. Interesting. Make a note of that, mental note, and let the sim coders know. Okay, so I'll just stick with my regular scheme here. Keep my mixture there. Okay, that said, oil temperature is not there yet. Barely in 75, so that makes us clear to taxi. Yeah, ready to go. Wonderful. What we're going to do is taxi 29, so we can taxi to the left here and cross over. And we taxi all the way back there, and then 29 left-hand traffic pattern. And we saw some other Skyhawk here in the pattern. I haven't seen him or her just yet. I think it's AI, but we need to be aware of that. Okay, parking brakes released. Brake tests correct. Let's go to the left this time. Breakage. Wonderful Oceano here. Trim, or the turn indicator, slip indicator works. Oceano traffic. Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Tango Mike is crossing over the field, midfield. Yeah, I was a little bit distracted by all of that grass there. Oceano traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Tango Mike is clear of the runway. Hey, I think my global airports... Oh, yeah, obviously. Yeah, because I updated X-Plane. X-Plane then re-downloads, if I remember correctly, my global airports and puts it as on the default kind of level. So I think I've got double global airports now in my custom steering. Thanks for the follow, SN. Thank you. So now it overlaps. So what I should do is actually delete that newly downloaded global airports folder, because the global airports folder should be at the bottom and all of my other airports should be on top of that. And now we got a blend, a weird blend. Yeah, I forgot about that. 75 oil temperature, not enough to do our run up. Hey Pat, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Alright. Good. Set to 1200. That's the max for now, until our engine is not warm enough. Otherwise we might damage the engine. Keep it leaned, and let's just wait until the oil temperature reads green. Let's also just put my parking brakes on here. Okay, so again, for our briefing, what we can do is control surfaces check to the right, down, up, down, looks good. Tail, up, down, looks good. Trim tab is working too. Perfect. Flaps, trim is already set. Lights will turn on as soon as we are actually going, and everything is set. Yeah, we're gonna depart. Left-hand traffic patterns, 1,000 feet AGL. So it's also we MSL today here, so that's perfect. And just get the hang of flying again, and then we might leave the traffic pattern and do some other training. Oh, guys, I really missed streaming. My gosh, but it's so busy with work. It's well, but at the same time, though, there's a lot of stuff. Flight simulation is always on my mind, and I find some 30 minutes or hours in between my work or in the evening where I'm really busy thinking about, learning about flight simulation, and those are time windows that I cannot just simply do a flight. Perhaps a traffic pattern, but I'm not always into doing that. So I'm also hoping that the new series, building my own Skyhawk and X-Plane, would also provide me with an outlet to share with you what's on my mind in terms of flight simulation, and just to keep in touch with you guys, in addition to my usual flight training here. B2, yes, 11 changed some mixture throttle stuff. Ah, Interesting. Well, we need to let sim coders know. Because I guess the rep package is correcting for the default behavior by X-plane. So if the X-plane system changes, then the correction also is out of place, I guess. I think it's not, rep is not replacing the behavior, it's correcting for. So it's dependent. We're almost in the green. Again, I haven't seen the other Skyhawk. Should do a 360 here before we're gonna do our takeoff roll, so we can see whether that Skyhawk is still in the pattern. I think it's flying from Oceana to another airport. It's AI. And we're in the green. Nice. Make sure full in. Let's go to 1800s. Looking good. No unenunciated messages. Oil pressure, everything is still in the green. Perfect. Left mag. Good enough drop. Back to both. Right mag. Comparable. Back to both. Idle. Vacuum drops, that's all okay. Oil pressure is still there, no unenunciated messages. Nice. And back to 1000. Alrighty, we're ready to go, guys. So, what I'm going to do is release my parking brakes. Make a 360 here. Let's see if we spot any Skyhawk here in the pattern. Nope. Don't see anyone. Nice. Also not on final. The tree is really my view there. I think we're fine. Oceana traffic, yellow, Skyhawk is departing runway 29 for left close traffic, Oceana. There we go. 2 runways here, it's a little bit weird, but full power. Right rudder there, airspeed's still alive, engine is still looking good. 50. 60, and rotate. There we go, nose a bit down. Calling on the horizon there, VY first. Nose down trim. Lots of nose down trim, 200 feet. At 300 feet AGL we're going to raise our flaps. In case of an engine now we would make the beach here, I guess. Thanks for the subscription, Aika. Good to see you. Right, there goes the flaps. Keep that nose up, VY. Everything is still looking good. What perfect flying weather today. Yes, I'm back, Aika. It's been a long time. I totally agree. A bit of pedals. Only in the turn, not when you are turning. Alright, there's our pattern altitude, nose down. There comes the heading bug. And there we are, airspeed increase until 100. Like so. Oceana traffic, Sky Proper Delta Tango Mike is turning left downwind, close traffic, Oceana. Looking good. Ah, I forgot to turn my landing lights and my strobe lights on. Getting sloppy, guys. Getting out of the rhythm. The strobe lights on, landing lights on. Don't go too fast here. We're in the pattern. There's Oceano. It is a wonderful area to fly here, don't you think? Wow. One notch of flaps. Push down on that yoke. There's the airspeeds. Already past midfield to be in the numbers already, so we can start our descent. Let's see if we can still land this puppy. Looking good. Okay, Okay, don't see that Skyhawk on finals. Always got on downwind to check whether no one is going inbound into the traffic pattern. No Oceano traffic. Sky Papa Hotel Tango Mike is turning left base 29. Close traffic, Oceano. Good speed. A little bit of a pull on the yoke, so nose up trim. Here we are. Nice, gentle turn. Right rudders. Second notch of flaps. We're in the wide band again. Last check. Don't see anyone. There's the runway. Watch that speed. Don't go too slow, Timmy boy. I like to stall. There's the runway. Looking good. Still quite slow. Especially important now to stay coordinated. Oceano traffic. Sky Papa Hotel Tango Mike is turning final 29. Close traffic. Oceano. Overshot that runway just a tiny bit. Good. There we go. Nice on speed, nice on trim. More nose up trim. Good, we made the field, so full flaps. In case of an engine out, we would still be able to glide to the airfield, not the runway particularly, but the airfield. So that's our cue for putting full flaps in. And now we can go to the bottom of the wide arc. What center line are we going to pick? Well, this one. And nose up. Ow! Sorry guys! Hurt your backs. My gosh. Talking about getting out of shape. Full power. 60. And nose up. Good. There we go. Second try. Oceano traffic. Sky Papa Delta Tango Mike is on the upwind 29. Left close traffic. Oceano. Man, that was hard. Ouch. Yep. I felt it too. Also, when I retract the flaps, I should not retract them fully. Obviously. But stop at 10 degrees. So I forgot about that too. Alright, let's prepare our crosswind turn. See no one. And Oceano traffic. Sky Papa Delta Tango Mike is turning left crosswind 29. Close traffic. Oceano. Get the nose up. Good. There's the heading bug, and there's our traffic pattern altitude again. Nose down, airspeed increase. See anyone there? Good. And Oceano traffic, yellow Skyhawk is turning left downwind. 29 for close traffic, Oceano. And I'm noticing that I'm alternating between yellow Skyhawk and Papa Hotel Tango Indy Mike, which is not informative at all, let alone confusing. Alright. Good. Everything is still looking okay. So, yeah, the lesson was I was coming in a little bit too steep on the runway. Ah, there's the Skyhawk on the runway. And it's full stop. Okay. Okay. Past midfield. Let's go 1800. Let's start that descent already. Also not really flying downwind that precisely, as you can see. Subtle, subtle, subtle things, guys. Not going down too quick here. Already quite low. A bit too low for my taste. Again, don't see anyone there on the final area. And Oceano traffic, Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango Mike is left base 29 for touch and goes. Oceano. Good. Airspeed into the wide band. Pull up that nose just a bit to help. Yep, there it is. Second notch of flaps. That's the first one. I thought we were already at 10. Gosh. And last check is there. There's the runway. Watch that speed. Watch that speed. Okay. Good.
500.
I know, darling. Let's go. There's the runway. Make that turn. Don't overshoot it. Oceana traffic. Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike is turning final. 29. Touch and goes. Oceana. Bit too early. Well, not really. Watch that speed. A little bit more nose up trim. Alright. Gentle, Tim. Gentle. Not make the field just yet. Now we have full flaps. Oh, that switch I need. Alright, again, get some lift here. That's why I come in a little bit too high. Alright, focus and go slower. We can fly all the way down to the bottom of that wide arc. Very handy tree here. Oh my gosh. Okay, far end of the runway. Focus on the far end of the runway. Proud, nose up. This is better. Yes. And gentle nose down. No. Yeah, 10 degrees of flaps here. Full power. Can we still make this? I hope. We'll bump here. Yeah, there we go. Better. Watch that speed. Oceana traffic. Skyhawk Papa Hotel Tango Mike is on the upwind. 29 left close traffic. Oceana. Good. Better. Much better. Finish. What are we doing? Circus at Oceano. Yes, we are. And getting into shape again. And then we're going to leave and do some practice maneuvers. 300 feet. Flaps up. Okay. And make that turn. Not really that coordinated, as you can see. Better. EY. Okay, one last landing. And then we're going to leave the area here and do some proper training. We are. Good. Goes down. Good. And Oceana traffic. Skypop Delta Mike is left downwind. 29 touch and go. Oceana. Good. 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 And straight out. Touch down. Parallel with the runway confirmed. Good. What I also like about the Reality XP package, by the way, is that when I hit the push to talk button, you can see that it's actually transmitting. And also when I hear someone on PilotEdge, I will see that reading like it should with the 530, which is quite handy actually. I was flying with the default Skyhawk a while ago, which doesn't provide that information. It's not a biggie, but it's quite handy, especially with lost comms. Alright, going down. Do I already have one notch of flaps? No. Alright, same butter smooth landing as before. And I see no traffic there on final or on base. Good. Oceana traffic, Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike is turning left base 29 for a touch and go, Oceana. Good, stay in the wide arc. Or 20 degrees of flaps. 1500 RPM is perfect. There goes our 20 degrees. One last check. See anyone? There's the runway. Good, nose down. We need to descend anyways. And Oceana traffic. Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike is turning final 29 for a touch and go, Oceana. I thought I saw someone on the threshold line. Yep, there's the Skyhawk. It's now on the runway. Well, if we're going short. Oceana traffic. Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike has the aircraft on the takeoff roll in sight. Oceana. Doesn't matter, it's AI, but it's good for practice. Come on. It should take off, right? Yeah, there it goes. This is tight. Made the field, full flaps. Yeah, we can make this. Alright, same drill. Steep, we're quite steep, so we need to start our rollout quicker. There it goes. Nose up. Proud, proud, proud. All of that energy gone. And slowly on the nose. Perfect. 10 degrees of flaps. Full power. Track that center line. Whatever you like. Left or the right one. And there we go. Nice. Oceano traffic. Skypop tilting wing is on the upwind 29. We're gonna depart on the left downwind. Oceano. Thanks for the follow, TG. Thanks. Welcome on board. Alright. So. And again, guys, building my own Skyhawk. Cannot wait. An X-Plane, Playmaker, Blender. A study level Skyhawk is going to take, well, I think at least a year. I don't know. Total noob. Flips up. With all of that software. But I cannot wait to learn more about the Skyhawk as well. But also to create a freeware Skyhawk, study level Skyhawk that we can all use to train and have a lot of fun, obviously. Alright. Nose down. Or at least we can actually continue climbing because we're going to leave the traffic pattern anyway. No Shannon traffic, Skypop tilting is on the left downwind, 29, we're going to leave the traffic pattern area to the southeast. Thank you guys, big thanks for the follow, happy Sunday, Merry Christmas guys. Oh, that's nice, Choco. That's a nice tip there. Alright, climbing out of the traffic pattern, there's Oceano. So, yeah, what are we going to practice? So, obviously, as a VFR pilot, I'm already done, pretty much done. Always there's something to learn and optimize, I know. But part of my IFR training, what can we do now in VFR conditions to practice? Do you guys have any suggestions what I could practice? You can challenge me with today. And Oceano traffic, Skypop tilting and Mike is leaving the traffic pattern area to the southeast, currently at 2,300. Oceano. Avidec, do a stall. Alright, not really IFR related, but it's fun. Let's do a stall. Let's get to 3,000 and do one. Some cloud puffs coming in. Interesting. I haven't looked at the forecast today, real world weather, but I think we'll be fine also because we're in the terminal area of Oceano. We have plenty of time to act accordingly. Partial panel in low vis. That's the stuff, Pedro. Exactly. So first a stall, then we're going to do that. Partial panel in low visibility. Okay, 3,000. Let's do a flap up. Power off. Stall. There goes the speed. I mean, a stall is not that difficult, actually. What's more difficult is slow flight. on the brink of stall. Keep that nose up, keep that nose up, keep it up. Nice stall, horn sound. Push, and right stall. Nose down, full power. Keep that nose down, there goes the speed. Nose up. Okay, drop of 200 feet. Let's do a slow flight. Also intrigued by doing that. With flaps up. So we're going to stay in the stall horn sound while staying on altitude. Well, we're not flying into a restricted area. Gonna fly a little bit higher than 3,000 feet. Santa Maria is at 2,800, the delta to the north there, so I just like to stay clear of all that stuff, even though it's all CDEV right now. PilotEdge is not live. Let's go to 3,500. B2, that's also a fun one. Alright, there we are. Alright, slow flights with flaps up. Let's see. Alright, a little bit of power in here. A little bit of power in here. Don't descend him, come on. Even if it's just a little bit of left rudder. Come on, more nose up. Goes to speed, goes to speed. Where's the stall horn? You should hear the stall horn right now. We're at the bottom of the green arc. Oh, a little bit too much of a left turn there. Left. Less power, less power, less power. I would like to hear the stall horn. There it is. Come on, don't descend. Using my rudders here to steer, not your ailerons, because that will create the stall. Now this is slow flights with flaps up. I don't even know if this is a proper procedure, and it's getting annoying to sound as well. Oh my gosh, full power. Awesome. Okay, now we're gonna do the actual IFR stuff. And we need to reset our weather here, because I'm gonna change it up to low vis and partial panel. Next question, Pedro. What panel, what instrument are we going to mess up? You choose. First off, weather. Manually configured. Thank you. Overcast. From base up to high. Really, I'd just like to see visibility. Yeah, we could do the same actually with visibility, but anyways, let's just put it all in. Boom, boom. Hello? Why am I not completely immersed in foggy? Well, I don't think it's that foggy. Visibility down, overcast to 7,000, overcast, non-visibility, done. Resume. Why are we not flying in complete visibility? Am I skipping something? NZ Aviation, artificial horizon failure, good one. That's the one that we're going to do. Why am I not completely in? Okay, let's just make a 180 degree turn. Okay. Yeah, so then we're going to go to, where are we going to go to? Flight failures, I guess. Instruments, primary, artificial horizon, always working, failed. Done. Apply. Interesting. Yeah, so let's turn. Oh, it's not immediately failed, I guess, the artificial horizon. Let's also lean the engine a bit because we're higher than 3,000. Alright, there's all the good stuff. Did I fail it or did I mess up something? I thought I failed it. Sorry. This one. Failure. Instruments. Primary. Artificial horizon. Oh, when pressed, I failed. Thank you, guys. Yes, now it's failed. Wonderful. Okay, so in VFR conditions, this is interesting. Let me see. Refresh. One of the things I learned back in the day was that the vertical speed indicator is not your buddy because it's so sensitive. It's actually better to look at your airspeed and your altimeter to have a sense of whether you're going up or down. And keep a scan going, obviously. Okay, so let's just make a level turn here. 360 turn to the right. There we go. Nice standard rate turn. And obviously I can look at the horizon, but I'm just familiarizing myself with the panel. A long time. Yeah, not that difficult. And to the left. Oh, a little bit too much of a pedal there. Guess we also need to go a little bit more down to get into the soup. Really pushing on that, so pulling on that yoke, so a little bit nose up trim. Alright. I already feel very, very comfy actually. Now let's go straight. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, there we go. Oh gosh. This is fun. This is fun. Yeah. Trim a bit. We're still scraping here the top of the cloud, so we actually need to go down even a bit more. It's a bit annoying, I think, because I said low visibilities, but you see Santa and the reindeer. Oh yeah, there goes Santa. Good one. I would like to go in the soup, guys. Come on. Alright, there we go. Down, 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 down. And imagine, guys, when we're going to build that Skyhawk, we're going to test it. We need to test flight it. So I'm expecting to be a lot more familiar, intimately familiar with the Skyhawk and the specs and all that stuff. Okay, here we are in the soup. Let's freeze my track IR here. Good. Making a turn. Level, straight, flight. Small corrections, that's the magic word. And trimming is the magic word. So let's fly to the north here. Oh, I should also increase my power, obviously, because otherwise I will continue trimming until we stall. Likely. There's our standard rate turn to the north. Good. Level. Man, it's so tempting to look at the attitude indicator. That's also why, with a real failure of the attitude indicator, you would also cover it up, because now it provides me with erroneous information and is actually distracting me. So this is actually the best challenge, the best way to practice this. All right, that's north. Let's do a descent to 3000. That difficult, I guess, and let's make a turn to the west as well. Then a rate turn, 500 feet. Oh no, I'm using the throttle here to make that descent, but I should actually just allow the airplane to figure out its own descent rate, not mess with the yoke too much, because it will eventually just, on RPM, just go down on its own. Alright, there's 3000, so I'm going to increase the power. There comes the west. That's a little bit of right pressure on the yoke. Keep it right, keep it right, keep it right, keep it right. Yeah, your turn indicator is such a nice instrument. And as a VFR pilot, you don't really come to appreciate how valuable that thing actually is. Alrighty. West. A little bit more power, Tim. Yeah, so the idea is you trim for straight and level flight. Or level flight. And as soon as you would like to make an altitude change, you're just going to use power or the yoke. And don't mess up the trim too much, because you can use it as soon as you are on your altitude, desired altitude, because it will still be trimmed. Alright, I'd like to do a steep turn. What did he say? Yes, a steep turn in the soup. Guess we need to go down lower, even though I set my overcast to go up to 7,500. Although I like the natural flow of things here. I do feel like Santa Claus right now, just scraping these clouds. Tim, don't go up if you want to go down. Yes, thank you. Fly over the ocean, which is not something that I would do in the real world now, in these conditions, but... And guys, I'm going to do another announcement of something new. Another, not really, not a new series, but a nice other thing that I'm going to announce together with the Digital Aviator, with Avanek, at New Year's. Which I think will excite you as well. Love this secrecy. 2018 is going to be a solid core year, at least for me, for flight simming. I'm going to complete my instrument rating here, instrument rating training. I'm going to build my own Skyhawk and X-plane, our own Skyhawk, and a lot of other stuff to attract people to the world of flight simulation. All right, yeah, in the soup. 2500 steep turn. Now, I actually forgot about the reading of the turn indicator to know what a steep turn actually is, but well, let's just make it. Let's just go 360 here. A little bit of power. Clouds, you're not helping me. Let's do it anyway. Go a little bit down to 2000 while we were making that turn. Alright. Down, going down, going down, going down, going down, making that turn. So now I don't know where my steep turn is. I think somewhere around here. A bit more power. And the magic is to do small corrections. Small freaking corrections. And now shit is gonna hit the fan. Don't get too hung up, Tim, on the vertical speed indicator. You're descending a little bit nose up. Good. Nose up. No, no down. Nose up. Small corrections. Even more. And this actually draws a lot of G-force, obviously, on the airplane. Let's make it the other way around. Alright. Stay on altitude, stay on altitude, stay on altitude, stay on altitude, stay on altitude. Alright. There's our steep turn to the other way. Okay. Let's recover. Come on. This is not a steep turn. That's a steep turn. More like a steep turn. Alright. Alright. Oh, not coordinated there. I was still giving right pressure on my rudders. Don't freak out by the vertical speed indicator. Good. A little bit nose up trim. Good. And I don't know whether I'm increasing my bank, actually. That's so hard to see right now. So this is actually a maneuver, I guess, that no one would actually practice in the real world. I think I'm only vertical right now. Whoa! Yeah, this is too extreme, I guess, guys. Alright. We are centered. And also, this whole partial instrument flying thing really becomes challenging when you are obviously actually in the plane, and all of those forces are also there on the body and on your mind, obviously. Because now it's just only an abstract exercise, which is good. But if your mind is telling you that you're actually making a turn while the instrument is contradicting that, then you'll have the proper exercise of what the partial instrument thing is about. So this is even only shows you a fraction of the challenge. And that's also why I've set up that that particular donation goal, as you can see on stream, because I'd like to have that experience, to go perhaps with goggles on, have that experience, so I can compare this exercise to the real thing. And I'm gonna video record that stuff and share it with you guys, obviously. Yeah, that was fun. Not too difficult, also not perfect, but good enough for me. I like also to practice a heading indicator failure. No, not this one, Tim. That one. Failures, instruments, primary. That's always working. Heading indicator. Failed. Boom. Okay, it's such a pleasure when the attitude indicator works. It gives you so much information, my gosh. Okay, so now to we were flying to the north. Obviously, we could also use the map, but let's not do that. We need to use the magnetic compass. So we are flying 320-ish. Yeah, this is always a bit weird. Yeah, this is weird. So when I like to go to the south here. So I'd like to turn the inner compass to the left in order to get there. So am I correct to do it like this? Yes. You can see it has all kinds of weird tendencies. So even when I'm just flying here and I'm banking, the thing already turns because of gyroscopic and all kinds of weird things. So woof. Oh, I'm going to the wrong direction. No, no, no. Just wait. And there it goes. So actually getting to know the magnetic compass is fun, but it's also important. So turning around, turning around, turning around. Now is the question, do I need to overshoot it or shortcut my turn? I think I need to... Well, on the north-south it doesn't give me that tendency, so it should work, I guess. No, not at all. So I should have clearly overshot it. Something like 30 degrees or so. You can see it's slowing down. It has all kinds of weird... Yeah, and there we are. North, south-ish. Okay, and now if I go down to the east... then the tendencies are a little bit less. So now if I'm east-ish, like here, and I turn... No, it still overshoots, but not that much. Thanks for the follow, Davik. Davlc, sorry. Welcome aboard. Smile, thank you for the follows, guys. And Kern, Casper, thank you. Welcome aboard. Merry Christmas, everyone. Flight simming, a new year of flight simming. It's on the brink. Building my own Skyhawk. Gonna start that just after Christmas. Okay, so I was flying on the magnetic compass. Now, as you can see, that can be quite challenging because the thing has weird physics on it, which are real and something that you should really become familiar with as an IFR pilot. And as you can see, I have not. I've been practicing with this thing for quite a while actually, but that stuff just loses. You just forget about that stuff over time. And it's not that important, I guess, because you could also fly on the GPS and you can simply correct for what you're seeing here, but still it's important. Another thing to make those turns, and that's actually a more reliable way, you can also fly on the turn indicator and the magnetic compass to be much more precise. So for example, if I just fly north, I do like to see the map right now actually. Yeah, I'm not flying in any airspace. Yeah, Shoko, I totally understand. Try not to realize that the compass is not actually moving. You are practically moving around the compass. Exactly. Alright, so there's the north. So, in a standard rate turn, how many minutes would it take us to make a 360-degree turn? Does anyone know? Another problem station here. Good to see you here. 2 minutes, right? A standard rate turn gives you a 2 minute, is actually there on the instrument as well. 2 minutes. So 360 degrees in 2 minutes means 180 degrees in 1 minute, or 60 seconds. So if you go to 1 second, you have 3 degrees, right? So if we make a standard rate turn, with each second, we're gonna change our heading with 3 degrees. So, if we are now flying on north and we'd like to go to the east, north, so to the right, that's 90 degrees divided by 3 is 30 seconds. So if I make a standard rate turn right now, we're not quite on north. Let's do that because it might prove the concept a little bit better. Tim, you're not doing it correctly. You can see it's confusing. Are we there yet? Well, not quite, but good enough. North, so a 30-second turn to the right. Select elapsed time, and here we go. Oh, that's not a standard rate turn. That's a standard rate turn. Well, we're not that precise, I guess. Was there? You can see east there on the magnetic compass, and 30 and a line. Boom! We're exactly on the east. So in that way you don't have to memorize all of those different weird forces on the magnetic compass. You can just use math. Math always provides you with the with a solution to problems, right? So that's also a way to make these turns and stuff. Interesting. What else can we practice, guys? IFR training. Basic IFR training here, aside from all the approaches and stuff that I'm going to do very, very soon, next week. Partial instruments, well, unusual attitudes we could do, but hey, Agent, good to see you. Welcome aboard. Hope you're doing well. 3 degrees per second, exactly, Mike. B2, so many mess. Need more coffee on board for this. Taco, good to see you as well. Long time. No see. And 57 people on board. It's getting cozy, guys, in our Skyhawk. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you have some time to fly as well in these holidays. Well, I guess not during the holidays, but got a 14-day break here from work. So a lot of time to do a lot of flying and streaming. bank angle if you turn indicator. Yeah, Shoker, you can really raise the bar there on the challenge. You're correct. Cathay guy, are you a real pilot? No, I'm not. I'm not. No, but well, actually, I'm really digging the development of flight simulation and how realistic it's going to be. Also the introduction of VR soon, flying on PilotEdge, chatting with you guys here. The efficiency, the flexibility of just turning on my computer and have quite a similar experience of flying here is just great. Also, I'm living in the Netherlands, and flying here in the Netherlands is so expensive, let alone just getting certified. So I don't know whether I'm actually going to get my actual certification, real world certification, PPL here. Although it does feels like a bucket list item. In terms of the satisfaction of flying, I think flight simulation is really getting there, and also provides more, like the stuff that we're doing here, chatting and sharing our experiences. So no, I'm not a real world pilot, but I'm a really dedicated sim pilot, an academic pilot, I would say. I really like studying and learning how to fly. So that's what I'm doing. Nightbush, can you do a holding pattern? Good one, Night. No, not yet. And that's actually part of my next section of learning, to do holding entries and stuff, also on NDBs and the whole bunch. So we're going to do that in a couple of days. Yes, Smile, it's the Reality XP GPS here, and I'm really loving it. The only thing that I don't like, which also others have pointed to me as well, is that it doesn't have a current database. I don't know even if the database is even worse than the default database, because it loads up its own. But that's a bit of a bummer. I remember John Fly emailing me about that. So that's the one drawback, but for me, in terms of just getting to fly with the 530 and a lot of other stuff that the 530 Reality XP version provides, in addition to what the default GPS provides in X-Plane, it's I think it's a must-have for any student pilot. So aside from that, yeah, the database only is a year old. Yeah. Let's clear up the weather. Real world conditions, and those were okay, I think. Hello? Match real world conditions, yes. Wow. Ah, much better. So Oceano is all the way to our left here. Yep, there it is. Let's return. Perhaps we can do some other nice training over there. For example, an engine out. Would we be able to make this with an engine out? Well, let's go idle and see, which is not a complete engine out. So what we're going to do first, off, is best gliding speed, which in the Skyhawk SP, I thought it was 76 knots, I don't know. So let's do that. 76. First, get a glide going, don't stall. So that's what we're going to do right now. Then make sure that we know where we're going to ditch the airplane. Well, I'm aiming for Oceano, but perhaps we're not going to make that. We're going to make that calculation soon. We can also go for the beach there, so that's an alternative. We also have a beach running over that side, but I don't like to land on the highway here. Also, there's some terrain there, so yikes. We got it trimmed, that's good. So we're currently at 4,000-ish. Let's say that we're on 3,000. Airport elevation is 0, so 3,000 feet. We're descending with 700 feet per minute, so 3,000 divided to 7 by 700 would be 4-ish, I guess. So that's 4 minutes, kind of like. 4 minutes we are flying with 76 knots, so that's 76 nautical miles per hour, or 60 minutes. That's a hard calculation to do by head, especially when I'm in a Sunday mood. Anyways, we can calculate that through, we can calculate whether we can actually make a particular range here. And also what's really nice with ForeFlight, when you enable, when you sync X-Plane with ForeFlight, ForeFlight actually tells you what your gliding distance is while you are flying. So in case of an engine out, you immediately know what airports are part of that range of what you can reach actually. So that's cool. Hey Ron, good to see you as well. Taco, I miss flying. Yeah, I've been missing flying too, Taco. And it's work. I'm sorry, it's just work. So busy. Now with my gliding speed here and looking at Oceano where it is, we could easily make Oceano. Now, the question is, how are we going to make the field? Also, I'm getting a little bit confused of where Oceano actually is. I was thinking that Oceano was over here, but Oceano is over there. Whoops. With an engine out, that's not a good thing. Alright, let's see if we can make this one. Still gliding, that's good. Oceano traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel, Tango, India Mike is 4 miles north of the airport, currently at 2,000 with an engine out. We're gonna enter the right base for runway 29 for a full stop, Oceano. At least, that's the idea. Now, because we don't have any additional power, as soon as I set flaps, we're going to lose airspeed, we're going to go down faster, so the whole flappy thing is something that you should do at the last moment. Also, if we're too high and we're going to go nose down, we're going to increase our speed and we cannot get rid of that speed that easily. So we should take into account a loop or some kind of detour here to get to the right glide path to make the runway with this particular descent rate. So I think we're a bit too high. Alright. Still a bit too high. Perfect landing speed. I'm not doing anything. I'm just nicely trimmed. Your flaps. Now let's see what the engine is doing. As you can see, there goes the speed. It's the runway. This is going to be exciting. Don't like to be too far away of the field here. No Oceano traffic. Sky Pop Hotel Tango Mike is on the right base 29 with an engine out for a full stop Oceano. Really emphasizing the right here because it's default. Left is default, right? Left is default, right? Vector, give me a vector, Victor. Too high. And this is where shit's gonna hit the fan. Right? You don't want to be too high. You can also make the beach.
500.
Full flaps here. Forward slip. Keep that speed going. Looks good. We are dropping like a stone. It's a short runway, so we don't have a lot of room to spare. There's a Skyhawk there. Taxiing. Full right deflection. On my yoke. On my rudder, I mean. Yeah, we're gonna make this. Rambo style. And clear up. Those. We're end of the runway. Bleed off, bleed off, bleed off. And nose down. Laps up. Weird hill here. And let's brake. Pull on the yoke here for some aerodynamic braking. And we made it! Nice. I'd like to do a few more traffic patterns and then I call it a day, guys. Alrighty. Oceanic traffic, Skypop tilting mic is clear of 29. Again, I've updated to 0.11, and as you can see, I did not remove or rearrange my global airport, global scenery. So I've got two airports loaded, the default one and the fancy one. So I should do that right after the stream. Totally forgot about that. If X-Plane doesn't, the updater doesn't see the global scenery folder, it just re-downloads it on top of the already existing scenery. There goes the AI Skyhawk there. Runway. Ah, there's something else going on. So interesting. So, as you can see, my oil temperature is quite low. Why is that the case? Well, if you drop down from 5,000 feet in idle, there's a lot of cooling going on, obviously, by the air coming in to the engine intakes. And this is how you can shock cool your engine, because it was, I guess it was a lot warmer before we started this whole exercise. And this is also why when you're going on, when you start a descent, to actually keep some RPM in and just get a higher airspeed going for the sake of keeping your engine warm. Because now we cannot go into higher RPMs because it will damage the engine, like it would with a regular start, right? Here we are. So let's get it to 1200s and warm it up again. Leaned, parker brakes set, north, north. Perfect. Okay. So I'm really designing, I will do that right after the stream. I will continue designing my new streaming setup on my iMac for the Skyhawk build. Nice new theme. I'm hoping that you will like it. And I will start with that new series, building my own Skyhawk, after Christmas. And I will post it on Twitter and Discord, and I hope you are interested as well to see how you can actually build a plane in X-Plane. And we're going to build a study level one, so it's going to take a lot of time. I'm a complete noob, so it's going to demand quite a learning curve. But I think it's a really nice additional dimension to being a sim pilot, to also appreciate how the sim is working, and also appreciate the incredible work that's been done to create these wonderful aircraft for us as sim pilots, in terms of photoshopping and using Blender and Playmaker and all that stuff. The care that's put in there, I like to experience that as well myself. But I also think, and that's also something that really interests me, to get more familiar, intimately familiar with the specs of the Skyhawk, to build each component, and obviously then to fly it, right? That would be great. And it's going to be, obviously it's going to be freeware, so it's going to be freely available for all of you guys, and I'm intending to really add on the realism. Well, not really the flying model. That stuff I will reserve, or I will ask sim coders to make a rep for the Skyhawk. I guess it's going to be the exact same rep that's being used now for the default 172. But what I do like is a lot more interaction points, meaningful interaction points in the Skyhawk, in the cockpit, but also externally, that as a student pilot you should consider when flying. So I'm also aiming for making it not only just another Skyhawk, but offering us a lot more interactions, and perhaps, for example, the circuit breakers that are interactive, or other stuff that we can add or remove from the aircraft. If we provide those models, sim coders could then expand on their reality extension pack for the Skyhawk, I think, to also make those 3D model additions meaningful in terms of behavior and how it interacts with the engine and all that stuff. For example, I think if we, I would like to be able in my Skyhawk to open a window. Not just as a gimmick, but also to get fresh air in, and like what A2A is doing with the fogging up of the windshield. I'd like to see that too here in X-Plane. Well, let's build it. And I think sim coders could collaborate with us to make that happening. Mix, thank you for the follow. So again, because I'm a noob, I cannot completely oversee what skill set I need to be able to build all of that stuff, and I'm totally aware that it's going to be a quite a challenge, but it's not impossible. It will only take time, and also I think it's a nice parallel to my flight training. It's another muscle, and also another type of stream that I hope will interest you as well. So we are in the green arc. Wonderful. Mixture full in. Flaps were already set, I guess. Yeah. We are ready to go. No one is on the runway. There's some traffic patterns. What we can do, just to again raise the bar a bit, is a crosswind. Manually configured. KVOC. But I'd like to have a wind layer. Thanks for the follow, Bob. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Yeah. I don't know why there isn't a base and a top for a wind layer, because now I don't know whether this wind is going to go up all the way to 10,000 feet altitude. Well, I guess just base here, and we're 2.9, so let's say something like this. Speed 12 knots, and I also like to see a little bit of gusting. Make it 10. Done. Done. Alright, do we have a windsock here so we can see what is going on? There's no windsock. There should be one. There it is. Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so reasonably significant. Yeah, wonderful. Okay, so again, make a 360 here too. We're flying always flying on PilotEdge. So we need to make sure there's no one. You can hear the wind hitting the airframe. No one is in the traffic pattern here. I don't see anyone. Also on final. No, wonderful. Air pressure has changed, obviously. We're at 14 feet. Alright, everything is set. Everything is set. Landing lights on. Oceano traffic, Skyhawk, Papa Hotel Tango Mike is taking over runway 29 left, close traffic, Oceano. Alrighty. So, wind is now on our nose. Right, ailerons. Full power. Yep, left rudder is what you would expect here. There goes the speed, everything is looking good. Gradually removing that aileron. And VR and liftoff and in the nose. Nose in the wind. In the nose. And there we go. Again, guys, I'm quite aware of that scenery glitch. Should reorder my global scenery folder because of that update to 0.11. And thanks for the follows, guys. And the support. 52 people in the Skyhawk. Nice. Payload issue, I guess. 300 feet AGL. And what I should also do is enable my... No, that's not what I'd like to do at all. I'd like to also make this thing working. And apply, yes. So the whole idea with the traffic pattern is not to fly particular headings, but a ground track. So we're flying into the wind right now, hopefully staying on track. Oceanic traffic, Sky Papa Delta Tango Mike is turning left crosswind 29 for close traffic. Oceanic. Weird call. Alright, making that turn. Let me see. So what I should do to correct for all of that stuff is actually set the heading bug to the wind direction. And Oceanic traffic, Sky Papa Delta Tango Mike is on the left downwind 29 touch and goes, Oceanic. That's a better call. Because I'm quite aware of the runway heading, obviously. Let me see. 29. Doesn't seem like 29. Is my compass still in sync? 12. No, it's not at all. Got an issue here. We're now flying east. Yes, that makes sense. Okay. One notch of flaps here. Ready midfield. Good. And the winds are coming from... Where is that? There it is. No. Hard to see from here. I think the winds were coming from... something like this. So that means right now we can also look over the cowling here, and that means that we are pushed to the right here, and I think I can notice that tendency. So we're not flying a proper rectangular ground course. We're flying a heading, a downwind heading, but that's not the drill, right? So we're now drifting off our traffic pattern area. We're drifting away from the airport, as you can see. So that's not good. So now I'm gonna make that turn. Oceanic traffic, Sky Papa Delta Tango Mike is turning left base 29 for touch and go, Oceanic. 29 to the right, to the left I mean. So now if I again fly a heading, like so, we're now getting pushed to the left a bit, just a tiny bit. So we actually need to should have shortcutted that turn. So quite high here. The strut is completely in the way. Oceanic traffic, Skyhawk Papa Delta Tango Mike is turning final 29 for touch and goes, Oceanic. There we go. Now let's double check the windsock soon. Guess we're gonna have a tailwind, which is not at all what we like to see with a landing, but anyway. Yeah, so we're getting pushed, so I need to crab to the right, so this is okay.
500.
I know, darling, 20 degrees. Little bit of a nose up trim. We go slower. Now, because we got a significant wind, we can also just land with 20 degrees, but because with full flaps, we're going to get pushed even harder. And I don't like to land or touch down with in a crab position, because we obviously damage the undercarriage. So we need to transition from a crab to a forward slip soon. And that's going to be difficult, especially on such a short runway. So guys, pray for me. Here we go. I'm going to stay a little bit right of the center line, because I'm going to lose some in the turn. So left rudders. That's cowboy. Not bad. And another notch of flaps. Yeah, 10 degrees. And I'm not correcting. I have my yoke in neutral position, which is not good. And that's something that also the CFIs drill and practice with their students, that as soon as they touch down, they don't let go of the yoke and say, ah, I land. Because they still need to correct, obviously, like you would when taxiing. But this is a really hard runway to practice these crosswinds because it's such a short runway. Flaps up. B just got X-Plane 11. Great! That's how you start Christmas. Buying X-Plane 11. And again, I'm flying a heading, but not a ground track. So I should actually be correcting a bit to the right here, because we're getting pushed to the left. Make the turn. Oceana traffic. Sky Papa Hotel Tango and Mike is turning left crosswind. 29 for touch and goes, Oceana. Alright, so here we need to shortcut that turn once more. So kind of like this, because we're getting pushed on it. Not shortcut, overturn it, obviously. It's a little bit further. Vector to follow. Enjoy that X-Plane 11. Yeah, so I'm flying a little bit more inwards towards the traffic pattern because we're getting pushed out of it by the wind. Oceana traffic, Sky Papa Hotel Tango and Mike is turning left downwind. 29 for touch and goes, Oceana. Okay. Again, overturning. So 29 is already now at the bottom, but we're overturned a bit because we need to crab into the wind. There we are. Wonderful. Low on fuel, but do we have a fuel reading? No. And again, this is also something that I would like to change with our own Skyhawk. This dashboard here is much too big. From this position, I should be able to see the annunciator panel. So this is not realistic. What I'm also going to do, guys, which I'm also quite curious about of how to do it, is I'm gonna try to record also my own sound set for the Skyhawk. We have a local airport here nearby, where I also did that flight lesson with Mrs. Uncertified. And I'm trying to get there to also make all kinds of high-res pictures of a Skyhawk that's over there as input for making the Skyhawk, but also to record sounds, which I think would be amazing. How to do that, also technically. Again, also appreciate the sophistication of those sounds. Okay. Again, drifted away quite a bit. With an engine out, I would not be able to make the field, so... Again, I have been crabbing it to the wind, but not too much. Not enough. Oceana traffic, Sky Papa Hotel Tango Mike is turning left base 29 for touch and go, Oceana. Alright, because we're far away, don't descend too quickly. There's 29. Yeah, I'm not preparing my turns here. So, let me see. We're now flying 29, but now we're getting pushed to the left, so I should actually shortcut my turn here to stay crabbed into the wind. Yeah, no one is there. Good, we're in the white band barely. There's the runway. Come on. There it is. And Oceana traffic, Sky Papa Hotel Tango, Indy Mike is turning final 29 for touch and go, so Oceana. Again, shortcut that turn. Again. What was the lesson? Yeah, so transition from a crab to a forward slip. And I was not tracking the center line at all.
500.
I know. Yeah, so... And, oh yeah, my ailerons, obviously. I let go of my ailerons, while I should have actually increased those to correct for that crosswind. Okay, so 60, that's good. That's good, that's good, that's good. No full flaps, okay, still crabbed. Alright, I should have been a little bit to the right side here. Full left aileron, but now, or left rudder I mean, but right, there's too much right aileron to stay on center. And right aileron. Not pretty, but we made it. Made it. Still right aileron. Well, it was safe. And again, I felt the pressure just to touch down soon because we have such a short runway. Keeping my aileron in. And Ocean Traffic Sky Popper telling me Mike is clear runway 29 to the ramp. Ocean. Alright, landing lights off. Welcome to Oceano. What a cute airport. My gosh. Let's fuel up. Thanks for the follow, gaming. Alright. Hello guys. A little bit more power here. Can we even make it here? I see a lot of objects here. Just in between. Alrighty. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, avionics off. Oh yeah, also something that I'm about to request as well to sim coders. I've seen real world pilots do this on YouTube, also do a mag test. I've covered this also in previous streams before they shut down. And what they do is they switch the magnetos while the engine is still running to quickly to off and to both again. And there seem to be two camps of pilots saying, well, that's actually a bit damaging to the engine and to the switch and stuff. While other pilots say, well, as a pilot, I like to be sure that the magnetos are not sparking when my magneto switch is turned to off, because if I would then continue and well shut down my aircraft and the next day do another flight, if I turn on the batteries and my magneto switch or my magnetos are broken, they might already spark without me knowing, even though the switch is in the off position, and it could start the propeller while I'm doing my walk around, right? So a lot of pilots like to know for sure that their magneto switch is still working. And so what they do now, when an idle here, is they switch to off and to both. So off, both. And you could see a drop in the RPM, and that would suggest that indeed the magneto switch is still working, right? Now, if you're already noticing this in the RPM with the current SimCoders version, off, both. There's a 600 RPM increase when you do that, and I think that's a startup behavior, because usually sim pilots don't do this check, but I like to do it as part of the SimCoders and Uncertified Pilot philosophy, flight realism, right? So this is a bug, I think, that should be fixed. So off, both. It should just stay at 1,000 now. It shouldn't do that that RPM increase. Anyways, nerdy. Cut off. And then the switch. And then the batteries. Parker brake sets. Prevent crossfeed. Door open. That's also... that doesn't sound good. I think that sounds like a crash. Hello? Oh my gosh, X-Plane has stopped working. Damn it, guys. The only thing that I would like to do is to put on the pitot tube cover and to refuel the airplane. That's it. But apparently that was a little bit too much to ask. Okay, well, that's an abrupt ending to the flight. I would have loved to also review the landings there, especially my crosswind landings on Oceano, but I guess Christmas is already knocking on the door and asking us to get in. Need to be, what scenery, please? This is Greg's scenery, I think. But I know that there was also some other scenery developers, but I think it was his, but I don't know for sure. Just search around for Oceano and you will find a lot of good stuff there to download. All right, guys. So, yeah, thank you for dropping in with such big numbers. It's awesome. It's been a long time since I was streaming. Again, work, PhDing, a lot of research that I needed to do. Even though at the same time I was spending a lot of hours in between on developing new ideas. For example, using flight simulation for public schools to engage children in science and technology and aviation education, because I think it's such a potential, such a valuable practice. This goes beyond just flying an airplane. It's about learning about aviation, learning about airplanes, learning about yourself as a pilot and be a responsible pilot. And I think it's a great environment for children to learn a lot of stuff that's as important as reading or writing. That's stuff that I've been busy with, but also started up a new project. So after Christmas, I'm going to start. The next stream is going to be a entirely new theme of streaming where I'm going to build my own Skyhawk in X-Plane from scratch. I'm a kind of noob. I've been orienting myself on YouTube and forums, but that's about it. So from scratch, we're going to build our own Skyhawk SP in X-Plane freeware with all the features that we like, including how to Photoshop, including Blender 3D modeling and stuff. So it's going to be a big project. I think it's going to take me at least a year to do so, but it's going to be fun, I think. So that's going to be the next stream, and by New Year's I have another announcement of an exciting new thing that I think will excite you as well. So hang on, and 2018 is going to be a great year of flight simulation, at least here at the Uncertified Pilot. Guys, thank you again for all your resubscriptions and subscriptions. It's awesome to see that support still and all kinds of new follows. It's really encouraging. I hope to meet many of you here also on the stream, many new faces here, also as part of the Building My Own Skyhawk series. So thanks again for that support. It really means a lot. Merry Christmas. I really enjoy those wonderful holidays at home, and I will hopefully see many of you after Christmas when we are going to build that Skyhawk. I cannot wait. So again, thank you guys, and as always, happy flights and blue skies. Bye. Palm Springs Tower, Skyline Hotel Tango. Your mic is 10 miles north from the airport at 3000 with information X-ray. I'm for a full stop, landing on 3 left if that's available.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs Tower, squawk 6250.
6250.
Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, Palm Springs altimeter is 2985, radar contact about 10 miles west of the Palm Springs VOR. Presently landing runway 31 to request straight in for 13.
That's a bit of distance.
Correction, Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, straight in runway 13 left and clear to land. Wind is 0905.
Clear to land, runway 3 left. Papa Hotel Tango, India Mike, thanks.
Palm Springs clearance, Pilatus 4658 is type PC12 land call, request clearance to Vegas as filed.
Pilatus 4658, Palm Springs clearance. Good afternoon, unable to give you as filed, I'll be forward standby. Pilatus 4658 is cleared to Las Vegas Airport. VFI Cathedral 1 departure procedure to Palm Springs. Victor 370 to 29 Palms. Victor 538. Cresso. Join the Cresso 3 arrival. Maintain 7000. Expect flight level 2405 on the traffic departure. Departure frequency 126.7. Squawk 6316.
Cathedral 1, Palm Springs, Victor 37029, Palms, Victor 538, Presso 3. Initially climb 7000, after 5, departure 167, squawk 6316, plus 65.
Pause 4658, readback is correct. Tango, do you mind taxi to the ramp via Echo remain this frequency?
Taxiing to the ramp via Echo remain on this frequency. Public Delta Union Mike.
Ontario Tower, Cessna 237 Charlie Alpha, approximately 4 miles to the west, inbound to land.
Number 237 Charlie Alpha, roger, inner left traffic, left downwind runway 26 left before base.
And left downwind for 26 left to McCoy base, 237 Charlie Alpha.
Charlie Tower, United 242 on the visual for 20 right, will be turning for a right base shortly.
United 242 Jolly Tower, runway 20 right, clear to land.